Machel Montano has apologized to Nicki Minaj for comments he made during the Stink and Dirty Fete that he deemed to be a mistake and a misunderstanding. He said he was compelled to sing the Good Spirit song, but something resonated within him when he said the line, "Don't fight me down." He said it didn't come out the way it was supposed to come out. For fans and Nicki Minaj alike, it seemed that he was accusing her and Trinidad Killer of fighting him down. Instead, he was trying to tell Nicki Minaj to tell Trinidad Killer to stop fighting me down. Nicki Minaj took to social media asking what she did and threatened to cuss Montano out. This whole situation is wild. You see, when the older generation, like Machel Montano, fighting on the younger generation, like Trinidad Killer, you can never have no progression that way. And you see that whole daddy comment, that whole comment there is crazy, because Machel Montano is the person we class as the king of soca. You don't really need to beat your chest at nobody. Honestly, it shows a level of weakness and insecurity to me, and you need to check that, partner. The main thing we need to do right now is move the soca genre forward, and the ones that come before fighting down the youths, not going and do that. Although, let me know what you all think about this story. Everybody, have a good day. Bless. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard were last night searching for a missing seaman who was part of a search and rescue mission that turned tragic. Able seaman K. Simon was part of a Coast Guard crew involved in intercepting a vessel described as a semi-submersible, also known as a narco sub, who was being operated by several Colombian nationals transporting a large shipment of illegal drugs. A senior Coast Guard said that Simon boarded the intercepted vehicle and helped members get onto the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard vessel. At that moment, a plug was pulled on the vessel, leading to the submersible filling with water and tilting upward. Unfortunately, Simon was inside the vessel when it began to sink. Simon is the father of a 3-year-old boy, and this operation is being described as preventing 1.3 tons of illegal drugs from coming into the country. Condolences goes out to the family. A boat full of Venezuelan migrants illegally trying to enter Trinidad waters has sunk, leaving 13 members feared dead. A 1-year-old baby and a 7-year-old girl are among the casualties. The boat was carrying approximately 25 people. However, 12 people were rescued from the water. The boat sank somewhere between Pedernals and Trinidad waters. I understand things are hard in Venezuela, but it's also hard in Trinidad, and it's getting worse and worse every day. But to take that dangerous illegal trip, I will never understand it. Condolences to the ones lost. It was especially hurtful to hear that a 1-year-old baby was involved in this incident, as well as a 7-year-old girl lost her life, and the mother survived. I can't understand that pain. That pain? That had to hurt. Personally, I don't think it worth it to leave Venezuela to come Trinidad, but people had to be really desperate right now. Let me know what you all think about this story, and again, condolences. Police are investigating a discovery of human skeletal remains found along the shoreline of Fishing Pond, Manzanilla. The discovery was made off Carapa Road by a resident of the area. The 49-year-old man was setting crab traps when he made this find. A human skull, a human torso, hands, and a human's rib cage was scattered along the coastline. The bones were bagged and taken to the Forensic Science Complex for DNA testing. Where could these skeletal remains come from? Right now, Trinidad and Tobago is like a murder mystery, full of twists and turns and no end in sight. Y'all gonna let me know, what are your thoughts of all these bodies and skeletal remains being found this year? Let me know. Housing Minister Camille Robinson Regis announced that government will construct 500 homes for squatters occupying both state and public land. This is after the Commissioner of State Land moved into a housing settlement in Arima and bulldozed 12 illegal structures earlier this month. She said squatting is illegal. It disrupts urban planning and puts a strain on public utilities. It encroaches on the forest reserves, riverbanks, and also critical agricultural land. While referring to the housing demolition in Arima, the minister said that government will not turn a blind eye on issues of illegal squatting. The last-minute political gimmicks have begun. And while I agree that illegal squatting should not be tolerated, you have to ask yourself this: why wasn't this done 10 years ago? Just imagine there are so many developments in different areas that are not being distributed, but we're building new ones. But election coming up, and they have to look good. So as I said, the political gimmicks have begun. A 64-year-old retired roti shop owner is the country's latest murder victim. Drupati Chance was killed during a home invasion last night. Her elderly husband was beaten by the home invaders, but survived. The elderly couple was found by one of their sons, who returned from work early this morning. Police suspect that the elderly woman was strangled with an electrical cord, which was also used to tie her and her husband's hands and feet. Condolences goes out to the family. Police have no motive for the murder of 32-year-old Dylan Machel. Machel, also known as Dylo, was shot and killed in La Hokata. According to police, officers attached to the La Hokata police station responded to reports of gunfire. Upon arrival, officers found Machel lying face down on the roadway with his legs on top of a black bicycle. He appeared to be shot multiple times and showed no sign of life. This incident pushed the murder toll to 47 murders for the year. Just imagine, we under a state of emergency, and this is the level of crime that's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. The government don't care, they're busy screening for the next election, while the citizens, the same citizens that have to vote for them, dying in the streets. It seems like the media busy comparing every single year to the other year, instead of calling out the government on the foolishness. And I'm pretty sure to all these ministers, this is just a regular day in Trinidad and Tobago. But you all go let me know, do you all feel safer in this country under the present SOE? And do you all feel safe in this country under this present government? All you go let me know. A 33-year-old man was shot and killed in Belmont yesterday afternoon. Police said that around 11:40 a.m., Marvin Phillips of Gonzales went to a house near Bella Road to collect a drill he was going to carry on a job. Police said that while in the yard of the house, he was ambushed by 3 gunmen who shot him several times. The killers fled while Phillips stumbled out of the yard and collapsed in the road. Someone he knew picked him up and drove him to the Port of Spain General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The murder toll as of last night stands at 46 murders for the year. Condolences goes out to his family. I want to end today with some good news. Recently I did a story on Kenneth Wallace, a 69-year-old man with a serious heart and lung condition. He was diagnosed in the Port of Spain General Hospital and sent home with a 28% pulse rate. Basically, he was sent home to die. He was in need of a pacemaker and the Port of Spain General Hospital had none available. I'm here to tell you all today that he got the pacemaker put in and that he's doing wonderful. He got the pacemaker put in at Sinclair Medical. Shout out to Sinclair Medical. Thank you for saving a life. Life is the most precious thing that we have on this earth. And through God, miracles could happen. I hope everybody have a great day. Peace. He get through was the shout signal in the crowd that the finance minister, Colm Imbert, was reselected as the PNM's candidate for Digger Martin Northeast. Celebratory chants of Colm Imbert, Colm Imbert, Colm Imbert filled the air as Colm Imbert emerged smiling broadly, surrounded by his supporters who embraced him amidst the loud cheers and blowing horns. The speculation of the Digger Martin Northeast seat has ended as Colm Imbert returns to the constituency he has represented over the past 34 years. Let's not forget, he was the only nominee for the Digger Martin Northeast seat, and the smile that emerged from this man was a $1 billion smile. You could swear that he went up against some of the toughest candidates and came out victorious. So I have a question for the people of the Digger Martin Northeast constituency. Is Colm Imbert the person that you will choose to represent Digger Martin Northeast? And how has he been representing your constituency over the past 34 years? You're gonna let me know. A family lime over this weekend turned deadly after a 65-year-old woman was shot in the neck. Quinta Macano died on arrival to the Saparia Health Facility. Police said that around 5:30 p.m., Macano was liming with relatives and friends in a shed when they heard gunshots from across the road. They then saw a man in a ski mask running away. Macano was taken to the health facility where she was pronounced dead at 5:53 p.m. Police are currently investigating. Let me remind you all, we are still under an SOE. And murders are happening every single day without remorse in this country. If the SOE is serving as a deterrent and having things under control, just imagine what will happen when the SOE is lifted. I'll let me know what y'all think. David Gregoire of C-Trace in Digger Martin was brutally chopped along Alberto Street in Woodbrook. Police said that around 2 a.m. the victim was seen arguing with a person he was liming with. They entered a black SUV which was parked around Alberto Street, and the argument continued. Shortly after, a scuffle was observed inside the SUV. The victim then ran out the SUV and towards Frankie's bar, where he collapsed. He was found to be bleeding heavily from multiple injuries. The suspect exited the vehicle and pursued the victim, and in front of many people, he chopped the victim again before fleeing the scene. When police arrived, Gregoire was found dead on the scene. The murder toll so far for the year stands at 44 murders as of last night.